Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's Daily Recap is for Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022. Wednesday, December the 1st, 2022. Today's going to probably be a short daily. Well, you know what? A lot of comments in Comment Corner, so I don't know how short it'll be. But as far as the recap, it is going to be short because all the episodes probably for the next 2 weeks are going to be just drug out because of the holidays. I mean, going into Christmas this week, tomorrow, Friday, it's really going to be nothing, right? So I'm not going to waste too much time. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. If this is your second time coming to this channel and you haven't subscribed, take a moment right now. It's in the bottom right there. Push that subscribe button. Let's talk about Curtis and Portia's house. It's all decorated up. I have never seen a house that had four Christmas trees in it. Why did they feel they needed that many in such a short amount of space? I'm like, are they creating a forest up in there? Oh my goodness, that was just way too many. And then they had all the cotton snow on the ground. You could walk and trip and break your neck. Oh my God, I didn't like it. Too much. That was just way too much for me. And, Trina finally came down from her room, hair a hot mess. Jocelyn was there, to comfort her, and the family was there. I mean, but rightfully so. Rory just died yesterday. But of course, she's blaming herself. She's blaming herself, saying that it is her fault, because Rory was connected to her because, she still feels the theory that the hook is killing people that are close to her. So she's feeling it's his fault. Her fault. And Jocelyn's like, there's no way that this is your fault, Trina. No way, So she was a good friend to Trina. And, Marshall gave Curtis a gift. I mean, it's oopla. Everybody's giving everybody gifts. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. And then we have the Davis house. Alexis has all her girls, Molly, Christina, Sam, and Dante was there and, giving gifts and they're eating. And Spencer was there because he's like, he wanted to be around some normal family. So he came over there and kind of looking a bit out of place, but he was there and happy he was there. He got some advice from Alexis because he's like, how do I not turn out to be like all the other Cassidines? He just doesn't want to be like that. And that was the first time I really heard him say that. And I thought, good for you. Try to be better than they are. He goes, I don't want to turn out to be like my father. It's going to take some work because Spencer is not like Nicholas, but Spencer is a different kind of young, entitled, pompous. He's always been that way. Spencer has been a little Spencer since he was a little Spencer, since the precocious little actor that played Spencer. Boy, I loved him. But Spencer's just been that way. So anyway, Alexis says you can't escape it. You're going to always be a Cassidine. But you can choose your own path, Spencer. She goes, I'm still a Cassidine. They're still a Cassidine. But we choose our own lives. We have our own lives. And we don't embrace what's negative about our family. She's like, we've got some homicidal. She just went all off in what's in that bloodline. She's like, but that doesn't define me, nor does it define my girls. And it doesn't have to define you, Spencer. And I thought, now that was a good talk, Alexis. He needed to hear. He really needed to hear that. So that was really good about that. And he stayed pretty much a long time. Dante left. He had to go do something. Brooklyn had showed her getting off the phone call at the Quartermain house, making a phone call and trying to square up something. And in my mind, I'm thinking she's now trying to get Chase reinstated, right? So Dante gets a text and he tells Sam, look, I got to go. And she goes, you're not going to work, are you? He's like, nope, I just got to go take care of something, but I'll be right back. So he went over to the Chase house where we had Gregory, Harrison, and Finn, and little Violet, and they having their own little thing. And Violet's the cutest little thing on the planet. She was being Violet, stealing all the scene. And their Chase is down because of Elizabeth. Not Chase is down because Finn is down because of Elizabeth. Chase was down because of what Brooklyn did to him. Just didn't care about his feelings or what he cared. Well, yeah, we know. So he was gonna leave her high and dry and not sing. And his father's like, but you made a commitment, son. And it's Christmas. You're gonna let down like a Christmas benefit? That's what Brooklyn deserves. She deserves to be left holding the bag. And his father wasn't with that, right? So Dante comes knocking on the door, and Chase answered, and he goes, "What's going on, Dante?" And he goes, "I need to talk to you." He goes, "Christmas miracle." So he steps outside and he tells Chase that the review board has agreed to reopen his case, and they will rehear it in the spring when they convene again. I guess they convene every quarter. So Chase is through he goes, "I thought it was done." He goes, "Yeah, me too, man, but no." And so she goes, "I guess Brooklyn wore him down." you know. And she goes, Chase goes, she can wear you down. So it worked, and he's happy. His whole face, his whole demeanor changed. My whole thing is, spring is a long time away, and he needs to get away from Brooklyn, or he's going to end up decking somebody else. Seriously. Yes, she got it back for you, but let her go. After this little song-a-thon, make that be it, right? And do some security work. Work with Curtis. Oh no, can't work with Curtis because he'll find out about the illegal gambling in the back room. So no, don't work with Curtis. Work with Sam. She's a detective. But yeah, you know what, Sam? Now she breaks the law when she wants to get stuff. So no, don't work with Sam. I don't know what you could do. But anyway, just get away from Brooklyn. Then the Quartermains, they had little Leo and Wiley open up presents. Willow is looking weak, but she held her own there. It was just Olivia and Ned and Drew and Carly, Michael, Willow, and Brooklyn finally came downstairs. So it wasn't a big thing. And the kids opened up their gifts and everything. They said Monica was upstairs having tea. We ain't seen Monica in over a year. But yeah, Monica was upstairs having tea. So they didn't have to show her. And I think that is it. And at the park area where the concert's gonna be, Austin says, "Maxie, hey." She goes, "Austin, I'm surprised you're here." And he was like, "Yeah, but we had said we were gonna bring the kids to this." And she goes, "No, we're not together anymore." She had a talk, and she says, "You know what? Trauma brought us together. You delivered my baby in the woods, and that whole year was traumatic for me, trying to stay one step ahead of my psychotic husband." Was she ever married to him? Did she marry Peter August? I can't remember. That's a shame. I really don't pay too much attention to Maxie. So let me know in the comments, did she and Peter ever truly get married, or was there always one thing or something keeping them from getting married? Let me know. I forgot, because that they were just never important enough to me. And here's the deal. This is what was a shocker at the end. Oh, so anyway, Maxie and Austin agree that there really is nothing. They're not together anymore. Good. Now he's got time to be with Britt. As a matter of fact, he's got time. He's trying to get away from his mob family, right? They can write Austin right on off the show, right off into the sunset with Brittany. He could take care of her as she declines. Let's do it, Britt. Come on. Because the way they wrote the story for Austin was horrible. for him. Horrible. He was much better and had a much better storyline as Franco. But as this, Roger Hayworth, they didn't utilize him nowhere near to his ability. They really didn't. I mean, even Cousin Mason, they fizzed that out. So I mean, no, all that can go. The Paul Tuck can go back to Paul Tuck because it just wasn't any good. So Jocelyn is leaving Trina's, right? And it looks like she's about to doze off, and the car is honking at her, and she's like, "Oh my God, waking!" and gets in an accident. I didn't see that coming because, why are they gonna make Dex rush to her bedside and Cameron rush to her bedside? I mean, what's the purpose of having Jocelyn get in an accident? I don't know where they're gonna go with that. You know, Jocelyn is supposed to have a bodyguard. See, this is what happens when your head is hard, when you don't need no bodyguard. Now, mind you, maybe the bodyguard, I don't know, is he tailing her in his car? Because if so, he's going to be able to call 911 on the accident because he's allegedly, she's supposed to be having a bodyguard with her at all times. So we shall see. Or was Jocelyn being typical Jocelyn? I don't need none of Sonny's guards. Rory just got hooked and killed, and I know I was a target, meaning I'm still a target, but I don't need no bodyguard. That's Jocelyn. So we shall see tomorrow if how bad of an accident is she in? Is it really bad, or what's going on? How is this going to be trauma over the holidays, Jocelyn being in an accident? So let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner, my goodness, I've got way too many comments, but you know what? Y'all had something to talk about. The real long ones, I'm not going to read every line. I'm kind of going to paraphrase them. You all can go back and see each other's comments. That's one of the good things. And one of the good things is I love the way you all interact with each other on the comments. That's phenomenal. It is like we're having a conversation. So Emily says, God bless Miss Eddie's family, friends, etc. I hope she's blessed in heaven above. And then Emily also says, hey, Daily Review, beautiful lady. Okay. I do agree that children should not speak to their parents that way. I would be on the floor if I spoke to my beloved mother that way. Our older brother once walked away from our dad after an disagreement, and my dad, said that statement to my brother about bringing him into the world and followed up with part 2. I was super young, maybe 10 or 12, something like that. But I remember being scared of my dad, LOL. Now, I must admit, when Spencer said that to Nicholas, I almost fell out of my chair and laughed my butt off. Forgive me for laughing, but I couldn't believe that this upper class privileged boy is acting gangsta. I'd have light you up right now. Yeah, he sure was. Like, what? I was saying to myself, like, who is he talking to behind the prison bars of Alcatraz? LOL. He balled up. He balled up like he was about to smack. Oh, he balled up a fist probably, like he was about to smack down Nicholas too. And Cindy says, it doesn't look like the Christmas spirit and healed the relationship between Nicholas and Spencer and his father. Spencer pointed his finger in Nicholas's face. You're disgusting, is what he said. And everything Nicholas told Spencer about Liz was a lie. It really, I mean, good. And look at him straight in his face, which just tangles things up even more. In some ways, Marcus Coma might be glad he doesn't have to deal with this mess. Let the recast deal with it. And then this Chemo Beauty says, I had to rewind my DVR to make sure I heard Spencer correctly when he said he should light Nicholas up. There is no way that Michael or Dante could even get away with saying that to Sonny would. Sonny would say, you want to light me up? Go for it. Oh, Sonny's mob boss stare down would be enough to back anybody down. And wait till Sonny. But you know what? I don't think Dex told Sonny what Spencer did. He sure did, because Sonny would check Spencer behind that. He definitely would. I was wondering if it was an ad lib and the writers decided to leave it in. It probably did, because I've never heard them write how to light you up right now. And it did. He looked like he was just in the moment with that scene. The actor who plays Nicholas is just not putting much into effort into his lines at all. I noticed that when he served Ava the divorce papers, and now again with Spencer, Dex can really deliver his lines with seduction. Poor Cam. Cam is not even in the same league as Dex. No, he's not. So saddened about the actress who plays Epiphany. May she rest in peace. Yes, we all feel that way. And then Emily says, I rewinded about 4 times. Everybody loved that. Spencer is the one to watch. He is super young with a chip on his shoulder and is ready to blow. He already hit Dex because he couldn't do anything. He could not do anything Trina and the nice Rory, the deputy do-gooder, having a romantic dinner. So he punched the next thing, Mr. Dex. Spencer needs therapy, and the Lord Jesus, they all do. This chemo beauty says, ain't that the truth? And Ron says she was like the mother to all the doctors and nurses talking about Epiphany. They came to her for advice. Yeah, she will be missed. She was like a cornerstone, a staple to that nurses station. And then probably soon to be hallway with her being an intern. And then Charlotta says, I mean, crazy Nina, you never tell the truth or of what she, the one that does, God. I don't quite understand that, but no, she doesn't really tell the truth. She doesn't tell the whole story. Even with Sonny, somebody, they just so nasty to me. She doesn't tell. And then Shaletta says, Nina never told Phyllis that what she's does so far, I was going to be sorry for her. So it's going to be sorry for her. All right. And then Annette says, praying for the family, so sad news. They can replace, but it'll never be the same. No, the actress, I mean, it will never be the same. And then Kimberly says, may God bless your family. You will be missed. And then Anna Rihanna, I'm going to kind of skim through yours. Anna Rihanna had a nice long recap. Everybody could read it. She said, Jocelyn, go back to Australia. Phyllis's response to Nina's, what she said about Willow was way like out there, double take. Like, why are you saying that, Phyllis? You know, you're supposed to be voice of reason. And then Drew is the Hardy Boys. He's going to blow the lid off of this mess. Let's see. Elizabeth has been threatened by so many women over the kind of creepy, what she does is creepy over and over. Well, Elizabeth has done that so many times. She don't care. She really doesn't. Because she's a good person. Yeah, that's right. Everybody likes to say Elizabeth's a good person. I've never liked Elizabeth or the woman playing her. You don't know Rebecca Hurst. Just rubbed me the wrong way from day one. Her narrow behind showed up in Port Charles. That was a little bit harsh, Anna Rihanna. My goodness. It says nothing is ever her fault. Now that's true. I don't like that about Elizabeth. She doesn't take responsibility for anything she does. Never sorry for anything. Nicholas always grows a spine at the wrong time when he comes at Spencer. You're late as a father. Spencer should knock you out. No, Spencer should not touch his father. That's a no-no. I think Spencer will be a Cassadine many years gone by. Daily recap lady. When I was very little, my mother took in an older daughter after her best friend died. My mother would look at her once and say, ever so quietly, baby girl, I brought you into this house. I will put you out. I heard a neighbor lady say the original phrase to other daughters and sons. I was a good nerdy girl. Oh, you didn't have to be threatened to be taken out. Good for you. Good for you. And then Lisa says, I believe Epiphany did pass. She means pass the test. She saw the first question and she knew that she had it. Yes, she did look at that first question and then kind of like, she felt confident. So, but they just didn't have time to go into that. Phyllis could transition to the nurse and replace Epiphany. The funny thing is, Phyllis is a nurse. That's what's interesting. Phyllis is actually a nurse. So they just have her working at the bar because, and her husband owned that bar. But when Phyllis wasn't there, she worked at the clinic. So yeah, we shall see if they put Phyllis at General Hospital. And let's see. And Lisa made that statement about Phyllis becoming a nurse at General Hospital. And then Sherry said, what was the purpose of Nick upsetting Spencer with the Liz news, especially if they decided she was going to lose the baby? I don't know. Esme was enough for the divorce. Yeah, to tell her she couldn't get over me sleeping with your girlfriend. So yes, we're getting a divorce. And then Susan says, I was shocked to hear about Sonia. She was one of my favorite people on General Hospital. She may be in episodes that have not aired. That's right, because they are about 2 to 3 episodes behind because of the preemptions in the fall. Actually, General Hospital is probably a month ahead now. The shows used to be 2 to 3 months ahead, but I think they're a solid month ahead now. So we might see her, if they don't decide to go in and cut her out and reshoot the scenes. We'll see what they decide to do with that. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to try to do it sensitively. And Rita says, Nicholas doesn't look like he can do much. Spencer is bigger than him. Rita also said, Phyllis uses bad judgment when it comes to Nina. She does. Nina is a busybody. She just has to get involved in almost everyone's business. She gets on my nerves. And then Sandy says, Sonia Eddy will truly be missed on General Hospital. I hope they give Epiphany a decent send-off. Carrie Jo says, maybe Willow looks more like her father. Who knows? Well, realistically, in soaps, they never make people look like the mother. Although, look, it looked like Carly spit out Jocelyn. That does look like her daughter. It looked also, who else looked like a parent? Alexis's daughters, even though they all look different, they all look like they could be Alexis's daughters, because they all had such varying different types of fathers. So yeah, I mean, that was a good match to me with the Davis girls. But with we shall see. And they actually, when they changed Jordan to a different Jordan, because the Jordan we have now, I think it's the third Jordan that we have. There was an original darker Jordan, then a lighter Jordan came onto the scene, and that's when they changed TJ from a darker TJ to more of a lighter, taller TJ. And now with this last recast of Jordan, it just really doesn't matter because that TJ fits her as well. But let's all not forget, we know what Willow's father looks like. Even though they have him playing a different part, Finn was Silas Clay, Dr. Clay. And that's who Nina was married to. And remember, when Nina came to town, when she was Michelle Stafford, he and Sam were involved, Silas, because they were flirting when they brought Silas onto General Hospital. For one, they really put him and Sam together for a minute because back in the, what show was that? Was it Port Charles? Back in the Port Charles days, it was Libby and Caleb. Sam played Libby, and the one playing Silas played Caleb, and they had a love story for years. I mean, I watched them. They were vampires. Well, he ended up turning her into a vampire because he was a vampire. You know, they have vampires on Port Charles, right? And they made a really good couple. But then when they put them back together again on General Hospital, the chemistry just was not there. You know, I think it was because now this guy's playing a doctor and she's Sam. You know, it was easy when Caleb was trying to fight himself from biting her. That was different, right? But anyway, that's who her father is. So Willow looks nothing like him, but she wouldn't. I mean, come on, this is TV. But anyway, that's what Willow's father looked like if he had not been killed by Madeline herself. So that was interesting. Let's see. And then Carrie Joe says sometimes they recast an actor so they look and act different, that's so true, than the one before. Just like Michelle Stafford was replaced by this actress playing Nina. You can't imagine Michelle playing the same role as Nina, no. Michelle would have brought a whole different Nina. And they do allow the actors to kind of put their own flair on things, because this Nicholas acted nothing like Tyler Christopher as Nicholas at all, you know. And then let's see, Trey Voice says, I on the other hand believe that Willow will survive leukemia and her unborn baby girl will die from leukemia in the process. I hope not. Willow's already lost a son. I hope she does not lose a daughter at all. And Ruth says, I could care less either way if they recast Nicholas or not, hopefully not, because the idea of a person who played the original Nicholas, or maybe you're saying you like the original Nicholas, and it's been several different variety and versions, I guess, of Nicholas, of them playing Nicholas. And Carrie Joe says it's sad to hear about her death. She was a real asset to General Hospital. Also had a lot of different parts on other shows. Rest in peace. Yes, she did. And let's see what else we have. Ruth says, I know the expression, I brought you into this world and I could easily take you out. And may I add, tooth sweet, but be honest, if Spencer did say I could let you up my answer to him would be LOL. Well, we kind of lost what you were saying in the translation there, Ruth. So I don't quite know what you meant. And then Ruth also said, sorry that a nurse to delete. I don't get what that last statement either. I think you're saying, sorry for the passing of Sonia Eddy. So yes, we all are. So that is all the comments in Comment Corner. I tell you, there were more comments than what my actual recap was, but that's okay. So I will be back tomorrow for probably a very short daily recap as well, because I think it'll just be more people celebrating Christmas and moving around and until, another week or two. So I will be back tomorrow, everyone. Have a great evening.